Hello?
Downtown Alton Brown. It's been forever. How's eats?
Well, who is this?
Oh, A.B., it's Sid. Don't tell me you forgot what we did for Sweet Potato. He's huge thanks to us.
Yeah, I remember Sweet Potato. How's that working out?
He's a bum. 6 months tops and he'll be back to dinner theater.
Huh. He dumped you, didn't he?
Forget that tuber. I've got my sights set on a brighter star, a mega star, the biggest flavor on the block. His recognition factor is off the charts, and he's playing every pantry in the country as we speak.
What?
But he has an image problem.
Oh, bad boy, huh?
I wish. This guy's image is squeaky clean. Even his biggest fans think he's straightforward, solid, dependable, bland, plain, boring.
Vanilla?
Well, you know his work. Of course you do. You're the man. See, we both know my client is one fat pod daddy. But he needs a makeover, a new direction, a comeback trail. And I think, nay, I know you're the man to blaze it.
But vanilla doesn't need me. It's one of the most exotic, spectacular, singular flavors on the planet.
Oh, A.B., baby, you're preaching to the choir. But you know what it's like when the congregation loses interest.
No, I don't.
I hope you never do. But when you're on that long, lonely slide down, Vanilla is the kind of solid culinary player who you can count on to be there, to soften the blow.
Well...
Fantastic! I'll have a contract over in an hour. Let's make magic. Ciao, baby.
Contract?
It's Sid. You'll never guess whose show I got you a shot on. You, my shriveled brown friend, are going to be on...
For those of you who believe that vanilla is just a boring, staid, everyday kind of spice, I offer this fun fact. Of the 20,000 or so orchid varieties that are growing their curious little lives tangled up out here in the tropics, only one produces food for us, the vanilla orchid. Now, it's not unusual for the vines to climb 100 feet up into treetops just so the flowers can see the sun. There she is. That is a vanilla blossom, but in order to put on fruit, that blossom must be pollinated. And this is pretty tricky because it's only available for reproduction 1 day out of the year. And there are only two known natural pollinators. One is a very small stingless bee called Melipona, and the other is a pretty rare variety of Central American hummingbird, which I feel certain doesn't really look anything like that. So if these two natural agents aren't available, the job has to be done by hand, and it is a tedious task indeed. If the miracle of pollination does occur, pods, or what we call beans, will grow on the vine to full size, generally in about 6 weeks. Let's have a look. There we go. There's some. Now, even though these are full grown at, well, almost 6 inches, some can grow up to 12 inches depending on the weather. But even once they're full grown, they have to stay on the vine to mature for up to 9 months. And even then, they're still culinarily useless.
Like chocolate, coffee, and tea, vanilla beans have to be cured before they are of any culinary use whatsoever. Step 1, a nice hot bath. Step 2, spread the beans out on a blanket in the midday sun and let them sit all day long. When night comes, roll them up in that blanket and let them just sweat it out through the long evening. Repeat this process every single day for 3 to 4 months. And then one morning you'll wake up and lo and behold, you're going to have yourself cured vanilla beans or pods. Although vanilla is commercially grown all over the tropics and subtropics from Hawaii all the way to New Guinea, there are 3 classic growing zones, starting with Tahiti. Now, this very, very small, very isolated island actually has its own unique variety. It's called Vanilla tahitensis, I believe, and the beans are very kind of delicate looking and extremely fragrant. That's why a lot of folks think they're the cream of the crop worldwide. I happen to think that their flavor is a little bit vanilla, though. and I don't mean in a good way. Not true of Mexican beans. Mexican beans I love. Now, this is the common vanilla planifolia variety, but look at them. I mean, they're fat, they're oily. These things remind me of Cuban cigars. They are right down funky. The problem with Mexican beans, though, is getting a good quality supply. They're very erratic, and you never, ever want to use vanilla extracts from Mexico because they are often processed with parts of the tonka bean, a filler which tastes like vanilla but actually contains some rather dangerous carcinogens. Now, 70% of the vanilla that is gotten here in America actually comes from over here, Madagascar. Now, these are technically the same beans as in Central America. That's because they were transplanted here in 1840, okay? Now, oddly enough, these beans are often referred to as bourbon vanilla beans, and the reason for that
is because the island in question used to be called the Isle of Bourbon because it was discovered during the time of the House of Bourbon, which ruled France off and on until 1848.
Okay.
Have you told them about the crystals?
No, I haven't told them about the crystals yet.
And have you told them that those green pods you showed them before are really string beans from the market?
No, I haven't told them.
Think you should?
Well, green vanilla pods are really expensive. They're really hard to get, and the string beans look a lot like them. Thanks for bringing it up, Deb.
Aren't you going to ask me how I like my vanilla?
No, you hurt my feelings. No matter where your beans come from, quality is going to be an issue, and it's your responsibility. One thing you can do is always buy them from reliable vendors. I usually buy mine from the internet. Don't buy them from the Mega Mart because you just don't know how long they've been sitting around on those shelves. Now, when examining a bean, well, it's tough to tell what's good and what's bad, considering they're all shriveled up little brown things. But what you don't want to see is brittleness, okay? This is leathery, but it's still pliant, okay? That is a good sign. Now, if you want to check yourself for very, very, very high quality, you're going to have to break out your magnifying glass. Turn the bean in question under a hard light source and watch for little sparkles. If you see them, that means you've got yourself a prime bean, because that is crystallized vanillin. And vanillin is the molecular substance that we think of when we think of vanilla. Curious thing about vanillin, it has a tendency of showing up in foods that don't actually contain any vanilla whatsoever. This is especially true of beverages like white wine, champagne, sherry, scotch, bourbon, even English beer. What do all of these have in common? They spend a good bit of time inside wood. That's right. Hardwoods, especially oak, contain a lot of vanillin, which can be extracted, and that actually explains why imitation vanilla extract is so cheap. It's made from wood. Most American cooks get their vanillin in liquid form. The vanillin in this bottle of imitation vanilla extract may have come from wood pulp, or maybe even as a byproduct of the coal mining industry, but the one place it definitely did not come from is a vanilla bean. That said, it's cheap and definitely vanilla-y. And to tell you the truth, I don't mind using this stuff in baked goods like brownies, where vanilla is essentially singing backup, if you get my drift. Now, although pure vanilla extract can by law contain things like corn sweeteners and caramel colorings, the best ones contain nothing but alcohol, water, and beans. In fact, the law requires that pure vanilla extracts contain a minimum of 35% alcohol and 13.35 ounces of bean per gallon. That's what's called a single strength, or 1X extract. Double or even triple extracts are available, but since recipes almost never call for them, I don't see any reason to keep them on hand. Now, natural vanilla flavoring, which contains real vanilla bean but no actual alcohol, doesn't deliver as intense a vanilla flavor, but since it's not an alcohol base, it doesn't evaporate as easily as extracts usually do, so they're good for adding to hot mixtures. Now, I should mention that you can make your own extract, but it takes a whole bunch of beans and a whole bunch of time, so I really don't advise it. As for storing beans themselves, I always keep them inside plastic bags, and then I keep the bag sealed inside an airtight container, and then I keep that in a cool, dark place. Do that, and your beans will stay, well, golden brown and delicious for up to a year. Vanilla extract is strong stuff. In large doses, it takes over whatever team it's supposed to be playing for. In small doses, however, it becomes a subtle agent of unification. Case in point, a humble fruit salad. I have here 1 Granny Smith apple, cored and diced. 1 cup of seedless grapes, halved. 1 pear, peeled, cored and diced. 10 to 12 medium strawberries, halved. 1 mango, peeled and diced. 1 banana, sliced. And 1/3 of a cup of toasted chopped walnuts. Now, if I just mix this all together, we'll have ourselves a very nice salad. But you know, here's the thing about fruit salad. A lot of these flavors don't really get along with each other. And of course, it's actually kind of hard to eat. Vanilla extract with some friends will rescue us. 1 teaspoon of vanilla